Sunny V2, and this one's titled, no, not actors. Yeah, actors who went broke in the stupidest ways.
Johnny Depp was spending 300.
Now, when it says actors who went broke in the stupidest ways, like, what's your definition of broke? My definition of broke is $0 in your checking, $0 in your savings. I hope this isn't like, oh, he had 80 million in his bank account and now he only has 10 million in his bank account. That's not going broke. So I hope that this list isn't full of that.
Johnny Depp was spending 360 grand a year on wine bottles, while Nicolas Cage's bankruptcy included 9 Rolls Royces and his own private island.
9 Rolls Royces? But I don't want to seem like that guy that talks shit about rich people and their ridiculous purchases, but I will say this. Nicky boy, you know you can only drive one at a time, right? It's like having a house with 18 bathrooms and you only got one butthole. Like, are you really shitting in every bathroom?
However, there are few actor bankruptcies stranger than Kim Basinger's, who thought it was smart to pay $20 million for an entire country town. Braselton, Georgia had only 2 shops and 500 local residents, one of which describing the town by stating,
I think broke would be going from a $20 million mansion to a 10K trailer. Okay, that's fair.
breading chicken is about the most exciting thing we do around here, which made the reason for Kim's purchase even more stupid. She planned on turning the town into a Hollywood tourist attraction by building a major film and recording studio with the added bonus of a theme park, homes and shopping centers at a time when Braselton's economic conditions were so atrocious. Another local resident stated, if we talk about the economy, everybody gets depressed. Given the real Hollywood was on the other side of the country, it's no surprise that the project failed, forcing Kim to resell the town for $4.3 million, locking in a $15.7 million loss and the alienation of her entire family who'd also bought into the project. The stress from the town's failure then caused Kim to pull out of a movie she was starring in, prompting the producers to successfully sue her for $8.9 million, which Kim couldn't pay.
You had to declare bankruptcy. You made everything and then lost everything.
Lost everything. Every single thing.
But at least Kim Basinger still had her freedom, as Wesley Snipes' bankruptcy was so brutal, it also put him in prison. He'd earned over $50 million from a range of different roles, although despite purchasing an Aston Martin Vanquish, as well as mansions in both Florida and New Jersey, Wesley refused to lodge a single tax return over—
Dude, you know what I would do if I had $50 million? I wouldn't buy 2 mansions. I would just buy 3 decent-sized, normal, standard, regular homes, man. So, 3 homes. If I had $50 million, bro, I'd have 3 houses. They wouldn't be mansions either. They'd be 3-bedroom, 2-bath, a garage, front yard, backyard. That's it. And I'd have 3 of them in different locations depending on what I want to do, whether it be vacation, whether it be just chilling, whatever, man, right? 2, I don't know, man. 2 mansions? Whatever happened to the days of 1 mansion being enough? I don't know. It's not my money. I'm just saying what I would do with it. 2 mansion. That is a nice car though, but I'm just more of a truck kind of guy. Aston Martins are nice, but I'm pretty much good with either, like, I don't know, a GMC Sierra, a Silverado, fucking something heavy duty, maybe a nice car or something like that, but these are like multi-million-dollar purchases.
For a 7-year period, and was therefore ordered to pay the IRS $23.5 million.
And the thing that like baffles me, that's like absolutely crazy, is like these celebrities want to stand on ceremony, and these celebrities want to fucking stand on a soapbox and preach to the 99% of everyday, regular, normal fucking people like they know better. But look at them. How are you going to sit there from the Hollywood Hills and look down on the rest of us and feel like you're better, right? And talk down to us and fucking try to lecture us on a daily goddamn basis. Meanwhile, you're doing shit like this. You don't even know how to manage money properly. Out here lecturing the rest of America? That shit, it's always been so fucking goofy to me. Brad, what's up, dude?
Wesley tried to wiggle his way out of paying by making the strange claim that he was a non-resident alien of the United States despite being born there.
He knew he had to pay the taxes. He was just trying to find ways to avoid them.
Although things got a whole lot weirder when Snipes declared he had no taxable US income, making the IRS Form 1040 absolutely the wrong form for me to file. He also claimed taxes withheld were stolen funds, whilst adding the IRS deceives people to terrorize, enslave, rape, or pillage taxpayers.
I mean, I don't disagree with that statement, but I mean, still gotta do it.
Although confronting the IRS was a very stupid strategy, as Wesley was immediately charged with—
Yeah, dude, no one has ever won against the IRS. I think the IRS has the same win rate as death.
6 counts of willfully failing to file federal income tax returns, for which he was given a federal prison sentence.
Wesley Snipes gets 3 years behind bars.
In 2018, 5 years after being released from prison, Wesley Snipes still hadn't paid $1 toward his tax bill and would try to settle the $23.5 million debt by instead offering the IRS $842,000, which they understandably rejected. Wesley then tried arguing economic hardship, but the court said no to that too, instead dropping his tax bill to $9.5 million.
Economic hardship. Economic hardship? My man, you made $50 million. It must be hard to be a movie star, bro. Shit's rough.
But the court said no to that too, instead dropping his tax bill to $9.5 million, which it seems he hasn't paid either. Avoiding a tax bill—
Dude, $9.5 million, he could pay that off so easy with like a movie role. He could do a movie, he could be like, I don't know, like a side character on a movie. He could be like a supporting actor in a movie and pay that off. Really? $9.7 million? I mean, fuck, dude. Robert Downey Jr. made more than that for his 13 minutes of screen time in Spider-Man. Granted, Snipes doesn't have the same amount of clout that Downey does, but it begs the question about Wesley Snipes. Is he broke, though? Is he? Probably not. Do you guys think that he hasn't paid the IRS because he doesn't have $9.7 million? Or do you think that he hasn't paid the IRS because he does have the money, but he's like, fuck that, I ain't paying you a goddamn thing?
There was zero intelligence anywhere. Reality television was the source of her wealth, appearing in The Hills, Big Brother, and I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Outta Here.
These people never last long in the limelight. Reality TV stars. They only last as long as the show is running. After that, people kind of tend to fucking forget about you.
Although when these types of shows completely disappeared, Heidi instead began recording music, spending $2 million on her very first album.
Who is this? Heidi who?
She'd state, I put every dollar I have into this. I've spent over $1 million, almost $2 million on this album. It's cost as much or more than a Britney Spears album because I wanted it to be that quality.
Yeah, but see, the thing with, I don't know who this Heidi person is, but Britney Spears was actually good. Man, if you take $2 million and put it behind me for a concert, I'm sorry to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, but that concert's going to be dog shit. I don't care how much money was put into it because I can't sing. You see how that works? So I don't know the extent of this Heidi person's skill set and talent when it comes to singing, but you kind of have to have the skill. I mean, the money's good and everything, but you can put $2 million into polishing a piece of shit, but at the end of the day, it's still a piece of shit. But I don't know.
The songs will make an impact in pop history. It sold only 1,000 copies.
So she was awful. Okay, there you go. Kind of what I figured.
In case losing $2 million on a worthless album wasn't bad enough, she'd talk about her daily life.
Heidi Montag. I have never... What? I have never heard of her. I don't know who she is.
By stating, every time we'd go out to eat, we'd order $4,000 bottles of wine. Heidi was going to the mall and dropping $20,000 to $30,000 a day. We thought we were Jay-Z and Beyonce. Heidi's outrageous spending was justified because we heard that the planet was going to end in 2012. We thought we have to spend this money before the asteroid hits, although—
Jesus Christ, these are the people that lecture us, ladies and gentlemen. These are the people that get on TV talking about fucking social justice and a whole bunch of dumb shit trying to make you feel bad because you didn't go see their movie and shit like that. These are the people that lecture us. Can you believe that shit? They thought the world was going to end in 2012, so they spent all their money. Because you don't need money when you're dead, right? Jesus Christ.
Though the peak of her stupidity was still yet to come. With the money running low, Heidi faked a divorce
Good God, her husband looks like a fuckboy version of Tom Brady.
With her husband, who explained the split was designed to create fresh interest in his wife for a potential British TV project. Divorcing was
That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
the only way to keep Heidi's career going, although this failed to do anything. Heidi Montag had to lose every penny before finally learning her lesson.
We live too in the moment. People say live in the moment. Well, we did. You know, we didn't really think about our futures.
All of which could have easily been learned by researching Nicolas Cage. National Treasure had brought his net worth to $150 million, prompting him to spend
It straight up baffles me how some of these people don't think of a savings account. Or maybe they do and they just blow through it. But at the very least, man, like I've always had it in my head, right, that if I ever won the lottery, right, that I would, I don't know, whatever I won, let's say I won $20 million on the lottery. The first thing I would do is I would take 1 million of that, 1 million of that 20 million, and I would have it in my checking to buy whatever I wanted to buy, right? And I would spend it accordingly. That other 19 million is going into a savings account, and I am going to instruct the bank, listen, under no circumstance, do not let me pull money from this savings account. Under no circumstance until I reach the age of 65. Don't let me touch it, period. You have my permission. You can withhold my funds. If I swipe my card and it says declined, let it be declined. Don't pull it from my fucking savings. Okay, that's exactly what I would do. And invest. But these people don't do any of that. At all. Man, it's almost like they think, I have so much money, there's no way I could spend it all. Bullshit, man. The only people that can afford to think that way are billionaires, not millionaires. You understand what I'm saying? Billionaires, they don't give a fuck. They can buy as many things as they want, and they can buy it 10,000 times over, and they still won't even be close to being broke. But if you ain't a billionaire with a B, you still need to monitor your finances and not give a fuck about it, bro. Like, it's just, especially if you're a frivolous spender.
$5 million on a waterfront primary residence, although Nick also felt the need to buy a holiday home. He'd therefore spend a further $15 million on a Rhode Island countryside mansion, also picking up an $8.5 million apartment for his weekends away in Las Vegas. But what about his weekends in the Bahamas? Well, for that he'd drop $3 million on his own private island, but this didn't do anything for his trips to Europe, for which he'd spend a further $12.3 million on 2 medieval castles, where he'd spend huge sums on enormous Gatsby-style parties. By 2007, Nicolas Cage had bought 15 different houses, where he'd keep his 26 different vehicles, including 4 yachts,
15 houses,
9 Rolls Royces, and
Jesus fucking Christ, 15 houses, 2 castles, 4 yachts, 9 Rolls Royces, a private island, and 2 mansions. That's wild, bro. With all that shit, one could assume that Nick Cage would have like 57 children. He doesn't. He doesn't at all.
And a nearly $3 million vintage Bugatti. Although this wasn't as old as his $276,000 dinosaur skull, kept next to a bookshelf holding a $150,000 Superman comic. Throughout the houses lived a $150,000 pet octopus, an $80,000 two-headed snake, and a pair of albino king cobras that set him back $150,000.
Nick, have you thought of a dog? Or a cat? Or a dog? Or a cat? Can't even play with these fucking animals. What's the... I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just weird. I've never been a fan of having an animal that I can't play with. So for me, dogs is it.
To add a cherry on top of the cake, Nick purchased his own extravagant gravesite for a price of $40,000, finally concluding his crazy spending spree just months before the global financial crisis.
The real estate market crashed and I couldn't get out in time.
At around the same time, he began receiving fewer high-paying roles, and with 6 different loans on his Bel Air mansion, plus mortgages on every other property, Nicolas Cage was headed toward bankruptcy. By 2009, he owed a further $6.2 million in unpaid taxes, forcing him to sell almost everything, most of which at a loss. His $15 million Rhode Island mansion resold for $9.5 million, while his $276,000 dinosaur skull was taken by the government after they discovered it was originally stolen.
When the Mongolian government said that they needed it back, I gave it to them, but I never got my money back.
Nick launched a $20 million lawsuit against his former manager, stating, Cage discovered that he is now forced to sell major assets and investments at a significant loss and is faced with huge tax liabilities, although his manager clapped back by claiming he advised Cage against buying a Gulfstream jet, against buying and owning a flotilla of yachts, against buying and owning a squadron of Rolls-Royces, and against buying millions of dollars in jewelry and art. The lawsuit was eventually
Yo, how much is a Rolls Royce? MSRP for a Rolls Royce 2023. The lowest price that I see is $348,000 times 9. It's $3 million. $3 million on cars. And not just cars, the same car. I just want a Nissan Titan or a Toyota Tundra. Okay, that's good, Roth. Those are some solid, reasonable options. Now here's my question. If you had the money, would you buy 9 of them? Like, let's just say you had fuck you money, Roth. Would you buy 9 Toyota Tundras? I don't think so. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, it makes no sense.
By appearing in Independence Day, Brokeback Mountain, and every National Lampoon movie, Randy Quaid became a multi-millionaire.
I have earned approximately $40 million throughout my career.
However, despite winning a Golden Globe and being nominated for an Oscar, Randy's career came to a screeching halt halfway through 2009. Why? Well, it began after he and his wife were arrested for trying to use a fake card to pay a $10,000 hotel bill, after which both refused to appear in court. After the case eventually settled, Randy and his wife were once again arrested, this time for squatting inside a vacant house they'd previously owned. However, things only got weirder from here. Randy and his wife began to claim they were being chased by a group called Starwhackers who were trying to kill Hollywood celebrities.
How many people do you know personally who have died suddenly and mysteriously in the past 5 years?
How does a person like Randy Quaid go broke? Surely he's still receiving royalties from Independence Day. Which, that's where a lot of people remember this dude from. He's been in a whole bunch of other films too, but at the very least, the royalties from Independence Day should be paying him. I mean, he's not living in a mansion or anything, but he's definitely not living in a fucking box either. So, I don't know. Bethany, hi.
While also claiming the group was somehow controlling their finances.
If things keep going the way they are, and we don't do something about it to expose these people, my wife and I will be out on the street. And we'll have nothing to eat. Okay, that's how bad it is.
As a solution, Randy fled to Canada, where he'd begin to upload his conspiracies to YouTube.
A day of reckoning is nigh. Wake up!
After which he was arrested for a 3rd time whilst trying to sneak back into America.
The Oscar-nominated actor and his wife in jail this morning after being arrested at the Canadian border in Vermont.
Exactly where Randy's $40 million went isn't entirely clear. However, Kelly Rutherford has been extremely open about how
So I don't think Randy Quaid is broke either. At all. Maybe a little wacky. Maybe a little loony. Who knows, bro? He may be telling the truth about all of it, and he is being targeted, and we just don't believe him. Who fucking knows, right? So, but is he broke? I don't know. I don't really think so. I mean, not as rich as he once was, maybe, but I guarantee he's got more money than me at the moment. There's that. Probably. Maybe. I don't know.
Spent her fortune on lawyers after gaining.
Wait, who is this?
Exactly where Randy's $40 million went isn't entirely clear. However, Kelly Rutherford has been extremely open about how.
Oh, she looks so. Hold on. She's from. What is she from, bro? I've seen her in something. She's in something, bro. And I saw it recently. The Practice, no. Scrubs, no. Wasn't from that. It was from, bro. Was it from? I think this lady was on Gossip Girl. Maybe.
She spent her fortune on lawyers. After gaining international stardom for appearing in Gossip Girl, Kelly had two.
I knew it. I knew I recognized her from. And yes, I've seen Gossip Girl. Save your fucking judgment.
Kids with a German man who wasn't a US citizen. The couple divorced in 2009 and began to argue about custody, with a judge ruling the kid should live with their father in Europe as he wasn't permitted to return to America.
Because he can't come into the US, the children have to be in now France.
Yes.
The situation was so strange and unique, Kelly spent every penny she had trying to regain custody.
It's cost you, what, about $2.5 million already?
It's cost me everything I've ever made, everything.
And as a result, she filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy midway through the court case, having assets worth only $24,000 compared to liabilities totaling $2 million. On top of this, Kelly owed more than $350,000 in back taxes, $25,000 in Amex charges, and had a monthly income of just under $1,300. Although,
damn, that is pretty rock bottom from where she once was. So she's definitely, yeah, she's definitely broke. She definitely went from 20 million to 1,300 a month. That is the definition. That is definitely fucking broke. Broke as I speak, I don't know, but broke at the time of all of this happening, probably. Bro, yeah, you go from in the millions to 13K or to 1,300 a month. That's a sizable decline. And it's actually kind of ironic, man, that what she went through, all this, all the publicity, and it almost reminds me of her character from Gossip Girl, actually.
In Amex charges and had a monthly income of just under $1,300, although despite spending everything she'd ever earned, her efforts failed to impact the court's final choice.
Gossip Girl star Kelly Rutherford stunned and fighting back tears after losing a bitter custody battle today in New York Supreme Court.
Kelly's spending was out of complete necessity, whereas Johnny Depp spending $650 million was nothing but complete stupidity.
Jesus, bro. 650 million.
In 2012, he was listed as the world's highest paid actor by the Guinness Book of Records, although despite earning $900 million over a 13-year period, he spent the money so poorly.
$900 million in 13 years. $900 million in 13 years. For remembering words and saying them in a specific order in front of a camera. That's fucking nuts, man. It is. That's absolutely fucking, that's some buffoonery. And to go broke, bro, that's almost $1 billion. Man. You know how long it takes people to make $1 billion? A whole hell of a lot longer than 13 goddamn years, I'll tell you that.
Conan O'Brien joked that he must have gotten financial advice from Nicolas Cage. Similar to Cage, Depp purchased 14 different properties, including his own Bahamian private island, multiple countryside mansions, and a $60 million village in France, although it was Johnny Depp's day-to-day expenses that might have been even crazier.
Was it the mega pint? Was it that?
2017 lawsuit revealed he was burning $2 million a month on $200,000 for a private jet, $150,000 on security for himself and his family.
There it is, $30,000 on wine. That's the mega pint that they were talking about.
$300,000 on staff, including 40 full-time employees, and $30,000 on wine, which was confirmed during his trial with Amber Heard. However, Johnny Depp's craziest purchase was when he spent $3 million on his friend Hunter S. Thompson's funeral by firing his ashes out of a rocket-like cannon. Just like Nicolas Cage, Johnny Depp tried to sue his management company TMG, although they'd respond with their own lawsuit stating Depp chose time and again to ignore TMG and all of his other advisors. Depp truly has no one but...
Why do they do this? Both Depp and Cage are guilty of spending frivolously, running out of money, and then blaming his advisors, talking about, why didn't you tell me we did? Why didn't you tell me I was almost out of money? Told you that last week. Why didn't you tell me that I was this close to bankruptcy? We told you that last month. Why didn't you tell me that I was this close to being just completely done? We told you that like every day last month, dog. Like, where were you? We told you these things. And you said, fuck you. So we were just like, okay, his money, whatever. And now you're broke and now you're mad. I don't understand.
himself to blame for his current financial and personal circumstances.
I don't understand. I don't understand how at one point y'all are making 20 million and at one point y'all have probably 50 million in the bank account. And 3 years later, y'all are in the same position as me. That's kind of mind-blowing, man. See, I took money management in high school. Yeah, like, these celebrities talk about how fucking smart they are, but obviously you're not that goddamn smart, man. You lost $30 million. Smart people don't lose $30 million, man. That's just fact, and it can't be disputed. Smart people don't lose.